Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is open Karat by double-clicking on the icon. This will open up a login screen, and I'm going to log on as an administrator. We'll come to operators and administrators a little bit later on. The first thing you'll see is this 9-button start screen, and we'll now go into this in more detail. You can access different areas of Karat by using the F keys, and the first screen we'll look at is management, and we can use F4 to get there. We first need to set up an account group, and you can use the F keys once again, so F2 or OK to go in there. You notice we already have an account group set up as Frankotip, but what we're going to do is create a new one. So we just click on New, type in the name of our account group, and I'm going to call this FP Mailing, and then we'll click OK. And you'll notice that we've got a new account group there, FP Mailing. Now that we've got our account group, what we need to do now is set up some accounts to go in there. So we'll click on Accounts, or we can use the F3 key, and then we'll click OK. Now this is a blank database, so we have no accounts in there currently. So let's create a new one. Now I'm going to create an account at the top called Service, and then I'm going to link that to our new account group, FP Mailing. Once that's done, I can give the service account an abbreviation to make it easier to find next time. So I'm just going to put in there SVS. I can also, if I wanted to, create a surcharge on that account. That means I could give this particular account a discount if I wanted to. You can also set up various stop functions on the account by quantity value, meaning that after a certain value or a certain number of items the account will close down, and similarly we could validate the account. Okay, that's our account set up, so let's click OK, and our account now appears in the Manage Accounts window here. And we've got our account set up, so we're just going to exit. What we want to do now is set up our types of mail. Types of mail could be anything from letters first class to parcels, etc. And because it's so easy to do, I think we'll set up a couple in here. We'll just click on New and then tap in first class letters and then click OK. Once we've done that, we can click on New and we could enter second class letters, for example. And obviously we can set up as many as we want to, but we'll just exit from here. Now we're going to the Setup Postage Meters area of Karat. This would obviously be done by the service technician when he installs Karat, but we'll just take a browse in this area. Because it's a new database, we don't currently have any franking machines set up, so we'll click New and we'll tap in the location of the postage meter. Now you can call this whatever you want to. We'll also choose a default account and then tell the franking machine which interface it's connected to. Once that's complete, we'll set up the machine ID, which is typically the serial number of the machine. And if we're running a barcode reader with Karat, we'll set up the interface for the barcode reader. But we're not in this instance, so we won't bother with that. Now in this area we have the postage machine types, because Karat's interfaceable to either the EFS or the Jetmail. And we'll notice that this particular franking machine is either activated or shut down. Now we'll choose the key assignments. The only key we really need is key 0, so we'll allocate first class letters to that, and we'll just accept that selection. With the other keys, we'll just highlight them, use second class letters I think, and just accept selection on all of them. Okay, that's our postage meter setup. Now, we were talking earlier about the usernames and passwords, administrator and operator. What we're going to do now is set up a new user, and I think we'll make this user an operator. Once the users have been set up, you can in future change them to give them either administrator or operator access as well. Now we can also set a password up for this user, which we'll do. And we'll make this user an operator. Okay, so you can see there we've got one operator and one administrator. Well, that concludes the management section, so let's cancel out of there. And now we've got enough information in the database to actually frank some mail. Now once the franking machine's connected to Karat, it will run in real time. So as you're franking mail, the computer will update in real time. As we can see here, we're actually franking some mail on the franking machine, and that's being updated on the screen, as you can see. What we can also do whilst we've got this window open is start changing accounts. So we might want to select a different account. We're franking on the service account at the moment, and now let's choose the accounts department. And you can see the Karat has changed to the accounts department up there. We can also change mail types. So let's select second class postage. You can see now that Karat's switched over to second class and is now updating the information on the right hand side. The other buttons that you can see at the top there are for other franking machines connected to Karat. You can actually have 4 franking machines connected at once. Okay, so let's exit from this window. Once we exit from here, the franking machine can no longer be used. This is quite a secure system. Okay, we should have enough data in there now to have a look at some reports. Now we can get into the reports screen either by pushing the reports button or using the F3 key. The first window that you see will give you the heading that you can have on the report. But just before we do that, we'll have a look at the table of accounts, and you can get there by selecting table of accounts or pushing the F5 key. This will then display all of the accounts that we have set up in Karat. Now these can be printed obviously and put on the wall for future reference. Okay, let's choose sorted according to postage meters and have a look at the first report. We can do different types of evaluation here. We can have a daily evaluation, a monthly evaluation and a period evaluation. Daily obviously gives you everything that you've done today. Monthly, you can choose a particular month and year to generate a report, or you can choose a date between a target range. What we'll do, I think, is just choose a daily report for this one. If we now take a look at the filterable data, at the bottom you'll see we have postage meters, accounts and types of mail. The percentage sign stands for all. We can change that and enter a particular account or a particular type of mail that we wish to do a report on. For example, we could delete this and just type in the word service, which will give us a report just for the service department. And again, the percentage sign takes us back to report on everything. We could also do a report on a particular type of mail. For example, if I type in here first class letters, then it will report on first class letters for every account. We can then compare first class letters for every account. I think we'll leave that on all as well. Now we can print or preview the report. I'll just go for preview, and I'm just going to need to make this window bigger by pushing the zoom button here. Now you can see our heading is post room machine, and we've got all of the accounts underneath that. We've got the accounts department's first class letters, the accounts department's second class letters, and also the service department's first class letters. To make this report slightly more user friendly, what I think we'll do, we'll exit from here and we'll sort according to accounts, or we'll use F3. I'm happy with that criteria, so I'll just push the preview button. Okay, now in this report we've got the accounts as headings, so this makes it slightly more user friendly. Now the data can be exported into Excel, but we'll talk about Karat DI a little bit later on. Now we'll have a look at the configuration screen. Okay, so let's push F8 or the configuration button to get in there. The first thing we'll look at is data backup intervals. Now this is the time that Karat takes to back up the data, and we've got it as default at 60 seconds, which means it'll back the database up every 60 seconds. Now the next option is important for people that want to use a network backup destination path, and we'll choose F3 to go in there. What I'm going to do is choose our network as my backup path. What that means is that somebody in another department can pick up that data and obviously export it into Excel to take a look at it. Now this is quite convenient if you plan on backing the data up to a local area network. For example here, sites 1, 2 and 3 will back their data up to the central server, and the accounts department can then pick up the data using our Karat DI plugin. Now the startup configuration just means that when you start the program, when you log in, you could either see the 9-button start screen or you could go straight to the data input monitor. And the next option here is the barcode reader settings. For example, if your mail comes down in bags from different departments, you could insert a barcode into the front of the bag and then use a barcode reader to scan that barcode and automatically change the account in Karat. Okay, that's everything in configuration. Let's take a look now at data administration. Now we can get in there by using the F6 key or clicking on the data admin button. Now we've got various options in here. Backup database just simply backs the database up. The next option down, cleanup database, will delete any shutdown aspects of the system. Including shutdown records, postage meters and accounts. Manual booking is quite convenient if you want to keep an eye on your parcel carrier. For example, we've set up DHL into the system so that we can monitor all the parcels that we send out and the costs. What I'm going to do is choose another account. We'll choose the service department's account, I think. And I'm going to switch the type of mail over to DHL. Now let's presume, for example, that DHL charged me £5.50 for each parcel, and being in the service department I'm going to send out 4 parcels. So I just enter that information, click OK, and then Karat will book that information into the system manually for me. Now let's say, for example, I made a mistake there. I wanted to actually book that DHL information onto the accounts department. So we can choose rebooking here. Now we can choose a different date, but I'm quite happy with the date at the top there. And just below that we've got source account, and just below that we've got target account. So what I need to do first of all is choose the information in the source account, which is this one here, and then choose my target account, which is the accounts department, and then hit rebook, and Karat will rebook that information onto the accounts department's account. And that covers data administration. Okay, in the communications menu there's not too much to look at, but basically you can import data from another Karat system or from Postage Oikla shipping system, which unfortunately isn't available in the UK at the moment. Now earlier on we set up a new user, the guy's name was Derek, and what we'll do now, we'll choose change user and change over to Derek's account. Because Derek's an operator, we'll see what happens. Now, being an operator, unfortunately has no access rights to the management screen, to the data admin section, communication, configuration. The only things he can do is ask for help, change user or change over to an administrator, exit the program, process mail or reports. Okay, so let's change back to our Karat administrator. And you can see all of the boxes will be unticked again. Okay, although Karat comes with a paper manual on installation, it also comes with a built-in help system. Anyone that's familiar with any Windows program will automatically recognize this information. And there's also a useful area for making your own notes on the program. Well, that concludes our tour of Karat. Thanks for watching.